Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. And we're back for another Premier League watch-along today. And it's Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur versus Newcastle United. Tottenham Hotspur versus Newcastle United. Two teams in contrasting form, contrasting ends of the table. But it should be exciting and it should be a great game. We'll jump into and dive into all of the information coming out of both of these two teams. We've got the lineups and everything you can hope and wish for. Afternoon to Oliver. How are we doing, mate? Hope you're doing well today. And as you can see, scrolling across the bottom is the earlier game as well, which I do believe has finished 2-1 to West Ham United. I'm sure Oliver will tell me if I've got that one incorrect, as he always does. But today, it's Newcastle, it's Spurs, it's two sides that, to be honest with you, they're a mixed bag at the moment. Newcastle United come into this game off the back of two straight defeats, of course, one of those being to my side, Chelsea, and the other one coming against relegation candidates, Everton. So Newcastle, they've had a brilliant push, haven't they? They have had a brilliant push since the January transfer window, since they brought in the likes of Dan Burn, Chris Wood, and a few other high-profile names. But they're maybe starting to see that actually it's not all chocolate and roses. It's not all chocolate and roses. It can be sometimes a little bit more difficult. And I'm sure Newcastle United fans will be more than thrilled to get their team back underway. And what a great time as well to come up against the Spurs side, considering the number of players for Spurs that will have gone out for international breaks. And we saw yesterday with Chelsea that international breaks can definitely have a problem for your team's morale and mentality. And I actually don't trust you at all that it isn't 3-2. No, it's 2-1. I genuinely didn't trust you at all there, Oliver, that it wasn't 3-2, because the form that Everton are in, it could be anything. Could be anything, the result. But today I'm going to be rooting for Newcastle, I think. With obviously it being Spurs, I never like to root for Spurs as they are one of Chelsea's closest rivals, but I will be rooting for Newcastle United. I'm sure if Active Aaron pops in today, I'm sure he'll give us the lowdown on the thoughts and feelings of Newcastle United fans. But it's a big game for them. It is a big game for them. I spoke about when it came to the Chelsea game and came to the Everton game that these were the real first big tests, if you will. Don't get me wrong, Everton aren't in the greatest of form, but I can still see the fact that Chelsea, Tottenham and Everton, they have a squad that is a greater calibre, and then we get to see where they place among the more elite sides. Elite is very hard to use at the moment with the form that Everton are in, but against the sides that are bigger, know how to do it on the important and big days and in the big matches, then of course Newcastle need to be tested, and today is a test away from home, to Tottenham Hotspur. They don't get too many bigger tests in the league than this for them, and it should be an interesting one. It most certainly should be. I'm intrigued to see. We'll get over to the what's the best way to say it? To the lineups. That's what normal people say. We'll get over to the lineups in a second, and we can have a deeper dive into them. And I think it's interesting, actually, the way that both sides are lining up for today. But of course, Tottenham, they've still got stuff to play for as well. They want to be trying to push Arsenal and now Chelsea, who've been dragged into this top four scrap. But they will be trying to push for those minimum Europa League, but maximum, they will be looking to get themselves a Champions League spot. Tottenham Hotspur, they've been without Champions League football for a couple of years now, and they'll be looking to try and do that. And against a side such as Newcastle, who are sat down in 15th place in the league, there will be an expectation and a pressure that comes with that, and they will want to eventually pick up points against these kinds of teams. They've lost 10 games this season, Spurs, which they won't be pleased with. Find themselves on 51 points with games in hand on the teams around them, apart from Arsenal. So only time will tell, eh? Only time will tell how these teams are going to fare today. Afternoon, Wiki. How are we doing, mate? And why does Ginola and Souness look so similar? I don't know what Souness looks like Ginola looks like at the moment. I'm not on the screen, but I don't know. Who knows? How was Brentford 4-1 yesterday? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're on about, Fraser. I think you've dreamt that one. Let's move on. Let's talk Spurs. Let's talk Newcastle United. Here are the two sides. Excuse me. Here are the two sides for today. And as you can see, it's a very familiar looking defensive structure for Tottenham Hotspur under Antonio Conte. Conte loves that three at the back, doesn't he? He absolutely loves and adores that three at the back. And it's been working okay. It's maybe not hit the ground running as such as it did when he took over Chelsea. Chelsea, obviously, in that first season that I nearly said Claudio Ranieri then. Antonio Conte took over at Chelsea. Chelsea obviously drove themselves straight to another title following a poor season under Jose Mourinho the year before. But it's not quite had the same effect, has it? Not quite had the same effect for Tottenham Hotspur. It's been a difficult start to life for Antonio Conte, but he's just starting to get there. I think we saw the last time out, I can't remember who against, but Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, they look like them of old. And Son and Kane finding goals, finding assists for each other, and that's what they love. And the January transfers that they have made so far in Dejan Kulusevski and Bentancur, both of them have looked like that they're able and more than capable of coming in and performing well in this Tottenham Hotspur team. And this is how they're setting up today, starting off with goalkeeper and captain, of course, Hugo Lloris starting in goal, with the three at the back being Christian Romero, the £40 million man. I've not seen much of him through to the fact that he's been injured for quite a large proportion of this season. And of course as well, he maybe hasn't been in the best of form, but he's coming into some form now, and we're starting to see this 40 million price tag and why it was really worth it for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm excited to see how he'll play today. Like I say, having not watched too much of Tottenham with Christian Romero in the team thanks to those prolonged injuries. The centre half then goes over to Eric Dyer, a man that is, I hate to say it, but just because of the fact he's that experienced, he is now starting to... People are chucking him into that could potentially go to the World Cup category. And if you'd have told me at the beginning of the season, I'd have been like, no, absolutely not. But he's been consistent under Antonio Conte. He's put in a shift, and it's not been too poor a performance for Eric Dyer. And with Harry Maguire not in the best of form, we maybe do need an extra calm and composed head at centre-half. Maybe Eric Dyer isn't that, but he's definitely someone who is experienced, and he's starting to get that. And who knows, come December or November or whenever the World Cup is this year, with its bonkers ruling that it's going to be in the winter, who knows where Eric Dyer could be if he continues to find a fine vein of form. If Tottenham Hotspur move themselves up the table, then Eric Dyer definitely could be looking down the barrel of at least consideration for the World Cup side. Let me know what you think. At the moment, I don't think he's there. I think we've got Tomori, we've got other players who are more likely to get there, but we absolutely cannot rule him out entirely, especially with the ability to play midfield as well that he does possess. And then the final centre-half to cap off this Tottenham Hotspur 3 at the back, or 5 at the back if you will, is Ben Davies. And Ben Davies for me is playing that Azpilicueta role that he does at Chelsea, where potentially he can slot in as that third centre half, drop him in, and I thought this would be something that Conte would do with Tottenham Hotspur, which is move a slower player into that into one of the outside right. outside wing-back roles. We saw it with Azpilicueta, didn't we, at Chelsea? I thought it was potentially going to be Tanganga because I thought he had all the attributes to be a key player, but Ben Davies has slotted in there and not really put too much of a foot wrong. And unfortunately for Tottenham, where the real problems have come under Antonio Conte is as a result of Ben Davies playing at left centre-half, where he's maybe not as exposed with him getting a little bit older. But that has meant that there has been a lack of talent to fill in at left-back, especially with Reguilon being injured quite a lot this season. And as a result of that, Emerson Royale is starting out on the left-hand side today with Matt Doherty on the right, both of which have come under fire for their performances in recent weeks. And so it's interesting. I wouldn't be filled with too much confidence knowing that Emerson Royale is starting out on that left-hand side with a right footer. But hopefully he puts in a good performance, because there's nothing worse when you've come from a big club like Barcelona for a big money fee that you just cannot hit the ground running. And hopefully he does hit the ground running, because there must be a player in there somewhere, surely. Let's see what Wiki's saying. Hoping Spurs do Spurs and drop some points today. Give it time, Kulusevski and Bentancur will become bottle jobs too. Dyer has been better than Maguire. Even Phil Jones, when he came in against Wolves, was better than Maguire. Honestly, Jones should be used more, especially when a bum, God, I read that as burn then, that was brilliant. When a bum like Maguire plays so often. I think if Phil Jones, I know he loves Manchester United Football Club, but if Phil Jones moved to like a Newcastle United, he would absolutely commit and he'd give his heart to the side. And I definitely think there's still enough talent in there, and it's more the work rate, isn't it, that will get Phil Jones through. And Josh Ring, afternoon to you, mate. He says, good luck with your streams, mate. Thank you, no worries, and good luck with yours. And nice to see you, Rangers Celtic stream doing very, very well, despite the poor result for your Scottish side in Rangers. Back to Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United, though. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Rodrigo Bentancur start as the two in midfield. And then we move on to where it gets very, very exciting. Heung-min Son, Dejan Kulusevski and Harry Kane. I nearly said Harry Maguire then. Imagine Harry Maguire up front. God help us. Harry Kane, Antoine Griezmann's favourite player, does start up front today. And we all know the talents of these three now, don't we? Kulusevski, give me a... What's the line? Give me a ginger from Sweden. That was it. A ginger from Sweden. Give me a ginger from Sweden. Dejan Kulusevski. And we know the talents of these three, especially Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. We've become so accustomed to the way that they play, and those two having this brilliant attitude and relationship between the two of them. And I'm sure today it will be no different. And quite a young side, actually, when you look at that average age there, 27.4. A mixture there and a blend, a nice mixture and blend at the moment of experience and youth coming through for Tottenham Hotspur, with Harry Kane, of course, leading that line up front. He started to just about find his form after a slow start to the season this year. Moving on, let's talk about Newcastle United. And despite having made a few key signings this season, I don't know where Bruno Guimaraes is, if he's on the bench for today. He seems to be starting on the bench at the moment. But despite having made a couple of big signings over that transfer window, only half of which are starting for today, if I've got that right. If I've done my... No, I've seen Matt Target there, so I've got my maths wrong already. 3/5 of which are starting today. And those that are starting are Matt Target, like I mentioned, who came from Aston Villa, who's been good so far. Chris Wood, yet to find his first goal as well for Newcastle United, and obviously that's what he's been brought in for. And then Dan Burn at centre-half, the four-fingered legend coming in at centre-half. But the team is as follows, and it's a 4-3-3 for Eddie Howe's Newcastle United, with Martin Dubravka starting off in goal. The left back, like I mentioned, Matt Target and Dan Burn, the two new signings, starting in full-back. Fabian Schär starts as the other centre-half. He is favoured over Jamal Lascelles, who I believe is on the bench. I was certain he was on the bench, but as soon as I said that then, I was like, oh, is he injured? Nope, he is favoured. The club captain has been dropped today, and Fabian Schär is favoured over him. And then Javier Manquillo is favoured over Emil Kraft to start this game, with Kieran Trippier, of course, still out injured, having injured himself a few weeks ago with a really, really unfortunate timing, because I think that sort of culminated in Newcastle were really good when Trippier was fit, but it's just now, not the wheels are coming off, don't get me wrong, the wheels aren't coming off, but it's just starting to show that actually how important Kieran Trippier was, and of course scoring a couple of vital free kicks as well for Newcastle, when just like when Chelsea needed Rudiger yesterday, he managed to get himself a goal. Not a prime example there, but considering we then lost, but absolutely. He's definitely an important player. Then we move on to the three across midfield, and it looks like a very, very balanced midfield. And John Joe Shelvey, I expect to see him pulling the strings in that midfield. Voldemort he'll just stride from left to right, he'll put the tackles in, and he'll spread the play nicely as well. Expect to see him a little bit further back in this Newcastle United side. And the two people alongside him are Joelinton and Joe Willock. And what a contrast of two players then. If you'd have told me at the beginning of the season Newcastle were going to start a game against Tottenham Hotspur with a midfield three of Joelinton, John Joe Kenny and Joe Willock, the three J's, I would not have believed you. But Joe Willock, I mean, he had that brilliant purple patch last season. Newcastle fans, obviously, they were so excited to see him join. There was a price tag of about 30 million chucked at Joe Willock. He is definitely a good signing, and he needs a bit more time. Newcastle fans probably expected a bit more of him, but there's no doubt that there is a player in there, and if they can utilise him well with the takeover and buy players that will really bring him on, I think Joe Willock could be one of the players who is there for a long, long time. And of course, Joe Willock came in before the takeover was done as well, so he could be a player there that is seen at Newcastle United for a long period of time, and who knows what his role will be come the summer transfer window, and if they try and sell or build a team around him. And then Joelinton, the man who has somehow transferred himself to a midfielder as a box-to-box midfielder. And how brilliant has Joelinton been? Let me know, how brilliant do you think that Joelinton has been so far this season? I think he's been really good in that centre midfield role. I'm excited to see him in there again. He uses his physique and his body very, very well. And I think the best way to describe it is the way that Pogba will use his body to shrug players off. Maybe not the best defensively, but makes up for it with that strength. And then, of course, being able to move the ball forward. And he works so well as well with Alan St-Maximin, who is starting off that left-hand side for today. Alan St-Max with Ryan Fraser off the right-hand side and Chris Wood starting through the middle. So when you look at that side, actually, I mean, maybe 2-3 years ago, not too many of those players were actually at Newcastle United. So it's a very, very fresh side in that sense. A very, very fresh side. And I think there is definitely a lot of room to develop with this side anyway, let alone whatever the takeover might do for Newcastle United. Who knows where they will go with the takeover as well, whether they'll come in with some more big money moves. And like I mentioned earlier on, Bruno Guimaraes, the big money move, the big player really that have come out of that January transfer window, Bruno Guimaraes. He is starting on the bench today. He's had a couple of starts, couple off the bench. Eddie Howe just being keen just to make sure that he's up to speed with the Premier League. And we'll just scroll down to the bottom. I did mention earlier that both teams still have plenty to fight for. Newcastle, they look like they're out of the relegation scrap for the time being. Watford, Burnley and Norwich, they look like they're going to be the ones going down. Everton, though, they're still in a little bit of a scrap themselves. And Newcastle look like they could be home and hose, but they still need to keep picking up points if they want to make doubly sure that they're going to get over. But I don't think that 40 points is going to be quite as vital as it once was a few seasons ago. I don't think it will quite be as needed. Let's have a look at some of the comments coming through before we go back over onto the other screen. What's the score? We've not kicked off yet. Shafter, we have not kicked off yet. Wiki wanted Joe Willock gone. We all know how this is going to end. I think it will be 4-1 to the opposition side, with the CDM getting a brace, but a centre-back scoring from the home side. Right, brilliant. Thank you, Oliver. You haven't seen Joe Willock play for your club, Sam. Trust me, you wouldn't rate him if you did. I'll wait and see. I'll have a look today. We'll see what he's about. We'll see if he's going to put in a good performance. At the top of the table, though, it does look like West Ham United have managed to get themselves back level on points with Spurs. Spurs have 2 games in hand over West Ham, this being one of them, and it will be important for them to pick up some points if they want to put a little bit of pressure on Arsenal. Arsenal, of course, are now looking upwards rather than backwards as Chelsea dropped points yesterday. But that is the 2 lineups for you. And actually, before we go off here, let's just double check the score from earlier, and it was 2-1 with Michael Keane. Is that right, Michael Keane? Is that the right Keane brother? Getting sent off. Yes, it was, for a second yellow card. But there we are. West Ham 2, Everton 1. So Everton's worries continue for the long run. You woke up this morning to 200 notifications on Discord. That doesn't surprise me with Oliver and Fraser. Let me know your score predictions, guys. Let me know your score predictions. Get yourself all set up and all ready. If you're old enough, grab yourself a beer and sit back, because I think this game's going to be very, very exciting. In my opinion, I think there's 2 teams here who they're still capable of making mistakes. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's 2 teams here that will be able to make the most of potentially some poor form for both sides. Let me just find the link. What time are we kicking off? It is. There we are. Oh, wrong one. Wrong game. If I can click on the right channel, that would be very, very helpful. And just turn down my laptop so that it doesn't come through for you guys. There we are. We are all set up. We are ready. So, I need to tell you guys my score prediction. Spurs versus Newcastle. I mean, like I said earlier, because of the way that Chelsea performed yesterday, I'm more than excited to hopefully see Spurs lose today. So I think I'm going to go with 2-1 to Newcastle United. 2-1 to Newcastle United. Let me know your prediction. And do get involved as well. Should be more than entertaining. Let's have a look. I've not checked FPL all weekend. How are we doing? That does not fill me with any confidence. Please say that hasn't updated. Oh gosh, that has not filled me with any confidence. 23 points so far. Still got Kane, St. Max, Saka and Gabriel all to play, and Dubravka as well. So that's not filled me with too much confidence for the rest of this game week, with my top point scorer being João Cancelo. It's a small plus at the moment in the View from the Stands group. Not many people, though, picking up points. The average is 28, and I'm currently on 23. I don't know. Some people, I swear, just pick like the most random players, and then 1 week they do really, really well. But, that's part of the game. That is part of the game. Wiki says that this could be 1-1. I'm hoping it's going to be. Hoping for some drama. I'm hoping for some action, and I think it'll be 2-1 to Newcastle United. I'm going to go with a goal scorer of Alan St. Max and Chris Wood to get his, if I'm still correct, his first goal in a Newcastle United shirt. And then for Spurs, I'm going with a Rodrigo Bentancur strike from range. That is what I'm going for. for today's game. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. And I'm actually really, really excited. And just a little bit of an update. I'm sure you guys saw yesterday on my channel, and if you didn't, there is a poll on my channel that I would greatly appreciate any feedback on, because it is talking about what I want to do with this channel in future and where do I want to move it to. As much as I love football, and football is my main sport, I do want to be able to branch out. After all, I am a sports journalist or a broadcast journalist, and I want to be able to be as broad as possible. And so what I have done is I have put up a little bit of a poll talking about the Formula 1. I'm really into my Formula 1 at the moment, and been trying to get back into it. I used to love it when I was younger, but I haven't really paid as much attention. And so if you could vote on that poll and let me know what your thoughts would be if you were to watch a Formula 1 watch-along, what would you want it to have, and whether you would generally, and then I can just get some general feedback from my subscribers, and that would be absolutely excellent if you could do that. Currently we have 23 subscribers, and we've had a very positive sort of feedback from it, and you know, a lot of people would like to see something similar, at least like to see something similar going along. And crikey, there's a lot of people I'm subscribed to on YouTube streaming this game today, should I say. Real Tom streaming it, John Sinclair, Football Days, and of course AVFTS, and do subscribe to any of those if you haven't already. And yeah, we've had a pretty good bit of feedback from that poll. So if you haven't already, do be sure to go check out that poll and let me know what your thoughts are on that. But back to the football. The teams are just about to come out here. John Sinclair, he's a Newcastle United fan. He's got about 2,000 subscribers. I've been in contact with him for probably over a year now, actually, when we were both similar sizes. So yeah, do be sure to go check him out. He does a lot. All of his content is pretty much Newcastle orientated, and of course, for a day like today, Newcastle orientated content always does very well, and he's done well to take on the boom, if you know what I mean, of Newcastle at the moment. There's been a lot of, I've just seen what Oliver said, high comparison with Ryan Fraser and Dan Burn. Yeah, I think they've done Ryan Fraser dirty there, I'm not going to lie. Tom doesn't have 2,000 subscribers. He's a Newcastle fan. Yeah, I mean, real Tom, classic. I'm actually going to go comment on his stream now and say, you've just reminded me. Let me go on my actual account. I'm actually going to go comment on his stream being like, great to see you supporting the team you support, or something like that. Oh, here we go. Up the magpies. There we go. I'm sure that'll annoy Tom, and that's exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. Right, there we are. Back on so I can hear everything and make sure everything is getting all sorted. The teams have just come out onto the pitch. We're currently just looking at the side of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and what a magnificent stadium it is. I mean, I don't like giving Tottenham Hotspur too much praise, but I will give credit where credit's due for their stadium, because it is a lovely stadium. Like, it might be worth £1 billion, but for £1 billion, even then, I'm quite amazed at the size and the sheer colossal, I don't know, just how colossal it is generally. It's a really nice stadium. I haven't been inside yet. I'm looking forward to potentially going myself if I can, and maybe an away day for Chelsea when more tickets are available for Chelsea. But do let me know your score predictions for today's game. I've gone with 2-1 to Newcastle United. Wiki has gone with 1-1, and I don't know if Oliver's put his in, but if you could re-emphasise that for us, Oliver, that would be absolutely fantastic. We're a couple of moments away here from getting underway in the first half, as Tottenham Hotspur do take on Newcastle United. Tottenham are going to be playing in, of course, their home white and navy-ish blue kit, with Newcastle United playing in their black and gold. I quite like that Newcastle kit, I'm not going to lie to you. I quite like that Newcastle kit. I'm looking forward to this game. Come on, Newcastle, let's see you beat Spurs. Let's see you beat Spurs. And Oliver has gone with 2-1 to the Spuds. Didn't realise they were playing. I'm assuming you mean Spurs, but we will be underway in a quick minute. My watch has told me that we're underway, but mine's taking a little while longer. Always the problem when you're watching on a Fire Stick rather than on a box. It's not quite as live as they like to say it is. Probably be a minute or so behind. So if there is any goals, if there is any action, do be sure to not spoil it for me so you can get the raw reactions to them. The players are just taking the knee once again, as is a familiar sight in current society and football, as it should be. And we shall be underway. There we go. We are underway in this first half. Tottenham Hotspur kicking from right to left, as I see it, and Newcastle kicking from left to right. Let's see who gets underway the quickest and the sharpest. Alan St. Max already trying to dance past the Tottenham Hotspur defenders. My fault to John Joe Shelby there at the edge of the box, and it's cleared away somewhat by Emerson, who looks like he's starting on that right-hand side. So despite SofaScore's best attempts, it looks like Emerson's starting on the right with Matt Doherty on the left at the moment. That's a good tackle there from Joelinton, who's picked up the ball and rolled it into Alan St. Maximin on this left-hand side. Gets himself away there from Emerson, and he's managed to win himself a foul already. Straight off the bat there, Christian Romero gives away a foul on Alan St. Maximin, and I think that's what we're going to see today, isn't it? Alan St. Max, he will look to use those quick feet of his and get himself in behind and cause a few problems for Newcastle. And what a danger man he is for Newcastle United at the moment. He has been one of the players that has been consistently performing for Newcastle over the last couple of seasons without really Newcastle really pushing on. Matt Targett's going to take this free kick here off the left-hand side, about 30 yards out. It will be swung in rather than a direct shot at goal. It is Matt Targett, and it's headed clear at that front post by Emerson. Try to loft it back in again. Emerson headers that one clear, but only finds Alan St. Maximin. Here is St. Max. He rolls it into Joelinton, who looked like he was going to try and line one up there, and that's well won back there. I think that was Kulusevski doing his defensive duties there as he nipped the ball there from Joelinton. Joelinton just looked like he was about to thread the eye of the needle there. Just looked like he was about to thread the eye of the needle there, and Kulusevski was very much jogging on the spot. A good start, a good opening couple of minutes for Newcastle United, showing intent and what they've been wanting to, what they'll want to achieve from this game, most certainly. If I could remind you, if you haven't already, do be sure to smash that like button if you are enjoying, and do subscribe as well if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. Here is Christian Romero now, who's going to slowly walk the ball up. Just give Tottenham Hotspur a little bit of time here after that, I wouldn't say a fiery start, but a quick start. Can't wait to beat Arsenal tomorrow. Hopefully you'll beat Arsenal tomorrow. That's what I'm looking forward to. I know what I need to put on. I need to put on the background noise, don't I? I need to remember to do that. Where is it? There we are. Let me know if that's okay, Oliver. That would be absolutely fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic if you could. It seems like it's at a decent volume. Seems like it's playing as well, the crowd sound. So we should be all sorted and ready to rumble. Ready for action in this game. Maybe turn it up slightly. Okay, no worries. We'll do that. Okay, it's fine now. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll go back down again. Good touch there by Doherty, who's starting on that left-hand side. Here is Højbjerg, finds Eric Dyer. Dyer looks forward. He's looking for the run there of Doherty again. Good run there from Doherty, who looks to find Heung-min Son, and he's just played that a little bit behind, and Dan Burn more than capable of sweeping up there and clearing that one up the field. He was, of course, a little bit at fault for the goal against Chelsea, which Newcastle did concede, as he just seemed to switch off, didn't he, Dan Burn? He's not really put too much of a foot wrong for Brighton over the last few years, and Newcastle so far since he joined in the January transfer window. Kane now looking to put a nice ball down the line to the ginger from Sweden. Newcastle nearly played themselves into trouble there, and they managed to get themselves out. He's not really put too much of a foot wrong, Dan Burn, but I must say he did switch off a little bit there for the Chelsea when Chelsea scored, and Kai Havertz managed to get in behind. Havertz had a lot to do, but he was helped by the fact that there was a slip by Dan Burn. So he'll be looking to show that against the bigger sides he can also do a job and is more than capable of performing at a top level. Lovely turn there by Bentancur, who finds Kulusevski. Here is Emerson, who tries to pull the ball across the box. He's found Bentancur, who shoots, and that's taken a deflection off Fabian Schär there and gone behind. Afternoon to Max as well. Good to see you, Max. What's your score prediction for today's game? Are you feeling confident to beat Newcastle United? Let me know. Let me know. Tottenham Hotspur corner here. An opportunity for Heung-min Son to get the ball in and potentially Tottenham to test the hands of the goalkeeper. And it was whipped in towards the back post there, but the referee had seen something, so he'd blown the whistle. I don't know if that's going to be retaken there by Tottenham Hotspur. What did he see? Just a little bit of a scrap going on between Ben Davies and I think it was Manquillo, and they're going to retake the corner here. Max is going with a 2-0. I said 2-0 Spurs, but watching this, I'm not so sure. But he's going to stick with 2-0. Got to back your boys. Max, you got to back your boys. In comes the corner on the second attempt here from Heung-min Son. He's whipped in towards that front post, and Eric Dyer's just headed that one over and behind for a Newcastle United goal kick. Everyone trying to get in towards that near post there, and that looked like something they may have worked on at the training ground there, Tottenham Hotspur, rather than Chelsea's poor attempts at crossing every single corner yesterday, which didn't beat the front post. Tottenham actually looked like they've worked on that one, as Eric Dyer made his run, beat his man to the front post. Dubravka to take the full kick. What was I even going to say there? The goal kick. And it somehow finds its way straight back to Tottenham. Lloris there, his distribution, looking for Matt Doherty. He's given the ball away though, and Manquillo's going to have a throw-in to take here inside the Tottenham Hotspur half there. Lloris will be annoyed with that one. He's tried to pick out his fullback and he's just only succeeded in... He must have seen Antonio Conte on the bench. He must have thought, oh, that's where I'm playing it, because it was a delicate ball if it had been going to Antonio Conte. But unfortunately, Conte's not got his boots on today. He's definitely not got his boots on. Ben Davies there. Good defensive play by Bentancur, who clips that one back to Romero, who finds Hugo Lloris. Newcastle were just trying to build there, and it was good defensive play there between, I think it was a tag team of Bentancur and Ben Davies, who managed to nick the ball back from Newcastle United. What has Emerson done to his hair? I know, I was thinking that. I'm glad someone else said it. I didn't know if that was just my particular taste, but... Didn't Joelinton have a very similar style, or doesn't he have a very similar style with the white tips, is the best way to say it, the blonde tips, highlights? I don't know, shall I do it? I think it'd probably kill off my hair particles if I bleach blonde dyed my hair, but don't think I've quite got the look, or the cool ability, or the coolness, the cool level to pull that off, I must say. Long ball there, looking for Heung-min Son. It's brought down though by Hojbjerg, who finds Kulusevski. So Kulusevski rolls it into Bentancur, who goes out wide here to Emerson. Emerson back to Bentancur. Bentancur whips it in. It's a good stooping header there from Fabian Schär to get in front of Harry Kane. It's come out though as far as Ben Davies. Here's Eric Dyer, who finds Bentancur again. Bentancur looking for a run in behind there. It falls to Heung-min Son though. Here's Kulusevski. Kulusevski looks to go down to the byline. Good defensive play there by Matt Targett, but Kulusevski still has the ball. Here's Emerson into Kulusevski. Just building here from Tottenham Hotspur. Romero now. Romero goes out wide. Poor pass to find Kulusevski a little bit behind him, so they've had to come back there, Tottenham Hotspur. That looked a little bit promising there, but the pass from Christian Romero was just behind. Here's Emerson Royale once again. Back into Christian Romero. Are they going to move this ball a bit faster there? It looked promising at one point, but the number of black and gold bodies there in behind where the ball is making it very, very difficult. I think there's everyone but Chris Wood behind the ball at the moment, standing strong. Newcastle United. Romero finds Ben Davies, who's so far advanced. He's in front of Hojbjerg. He clips that one forward. Again, Hojbjerg there, looking for Emerson, and that's well read there by Dan Burn, and that will be out for a Tottenham Hotspur throw-in. And yes, I can see his hair now, Joelinton. I can see Joelinton's hair as well. Though there must be matching. They must be in cahoots. Doherty, good touch there, and he's flicked that one down the line to Heung-min Son. Son tries to come inside Fabian Schär, who gets his foot in and only succeeds though in finding Matt Doherty. Ben Davies once again. Lovely ball there by Eric Dyer into the feet of Harry Kane. He's split the defence there. Harry Kane just slips as he's about to shoot there, and at the vital moment looked like he was going to try and bend one into that top corner, and Alan Saint-Maximin is going to try and clear this one out. Our centre-backs press so high. I know it's very, very signature of Antonio Conte. That's a great ball as well from Hojbjerg to find the feet of Kulusevski. Kulusevski is going to find Hojbjerg once again. Here is Hojbjerg, finds Heung-min Son. He'll come back again, will he? No, he won't. Yes, he does that time. There we go. He goes back to Hojbjerg once again. Yeah, that is a very, very Antonio Conte way of playing. Is having high pressing defenders, having them step up into the final thirds and move the ball forward that way. They're literally in attacking positions. Just leave Eric Dyer back, especially because everyone is behind the ball right now, including Chris Wood. Everyone is behind the ball, so Eric Dyer doesn't need support. It would be a waste. It would make it more difficult for Tottenham to have all those players back. So Romero, Ben Davies, they're more than capable of carrying the ball forward, so why not? That's a lovely ball there from Bentancur. Can Emerson keep that one on? He has. He's put the ball in, and 6'6" of Dan Burn there manages to clear that one. It looked like it was going to fall for Son there. It has fallen for Hojbjerg. Christian Romero now, who's stepped up in front of Hojbjerg once again. Eric Dyer looking for the run of Harry Kane. A noticeable thing early on in this game for Tottenham Hotspur is that the forwards are always able to show to feet. It's very, very interesting. They're looking to fizz the ball into feet rather than go over the top. They have that on. Eric Dyer has shown that they've had that on. But they are looking to roll it into feet, and Harry Kane and Heung-min Son and Kulusevski are playing with their backs to the goal here, and it could cause them a few problems. Of course, if they can switch it up and have the balls over the top as well as the balls coming into the feet, then yes, it will work really well for them. There's another ball into the feet of Harry Kane there, and that was nearly. Is that what they're going to try there? That is nearly what they are going to try. Harry Kane there had received the ball into feet, who then dropped it off to Bentancur, and that movement just created space in behind for Son to run into. Unfortunately, the pass from Rodrigo Bentancur was just intercepted, but I'm intrigued to see if that's what Spurs are going to try and do here, because we know, don't we, that Newcastle United are very, very good at holding their position, and if you can get that movement, a player such as Harry Kane, Kulusevski, Heung-min Son, you're not going to allow them that space, so someone will come out with them, and that's when the space will emerge for the wide players. Lovely ball in there by Emerson Royale. It is headed clear though by Manquillo. Trying to put a bit of a squeeze on here, Newcastle United, but there's plenty of men over here for for Tottenham if they can find it. One of them is Ben Davies, who has the ball now. Bentancur into Harry Kane. Here is Harry Kane. Oh. The ball was moved nicely. I tell you what, they moved the ball very, very nicely there, Tottenham, to get that away. I think the ball was initially into Kulusevski, who just clipped the ball forward to Harry Kane. It was a half a shot there from Harry Kane, but you can't give him the opportunities on the edge of the box there. You cannot. Sam, did you know what I just told you? Dan Burner, 7 fingers. Yes, I saw it after the Chelsea game, because that's when it came out, didn't it? People started to notice. I'll take the lashes if we lose, but I'm feeling confident, says Wiki. I mean, you should be. You're in good form, Arsenal are. You are in good form, probably in the best form out of any of the Chelsea sides, the London sides at the moment. Might as well be Chelsea sides. That's all London is at the minute. It's just completely blue. With the European champions, the world champions. Unfortunately, they're both the same team, but not a great day to pitch, but I knew it before I saw Fusion Josh talking about it. Oh, cool. Here's Matt Doherty. He's going to cut in on that left foot. He's whipped it out wide there. Oh, he was looking for Emerson. They've not quite got that balance right, have they, with the fullbacks? I think one of the best things about the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea when under Antonio Conte is the fact that the fullbacks, when one of them crosses the ball and the other one's always at that back post, and I don't think Tottenham quite have that at the moment. They've not quite got to that level of competence in this, but that'll come with time. That will come with time, and games like this against Newcastle United is a prime example of where they should use it, as Joelinton gives away a foul there on Kulusevski. Quite an advanced position here. Interesting to see how who will take this for Spurs. I couldn't really name you Spurs' free kick taker. Before I tell you who it is, Max, who is Spurs' free kick taker? Who is Spurs' free kick taker? Because you look at the team and there's not really a natural free kick taker. You don't really look at someone and go, oh yeah, he can whip a good free kick. The player who is going to take it, though, who stood over it, I mean, I think Christian Romero's just stood there for no reason whatsoever, but it is Eric Dyer. Oh, it hit the... I was that close to celebrating there. Or getting hyper, because you know the poles at the back that hold up the net? It hit one of them, and because it hit that and came across the goal, I thought it had gone in. But no, he went wide there from Eric Dyer. Not a bad effort, but he didn't really get the dip swerve or the curve that he maybe required. It does seem very strange seeing the centre half taking free kicks. You've surely got to think that someone in that Spurs lineup must have a better free kick. But you know, Harry Kane isn't really that good as much as... this is a lovely play from Newcastle. And, Ryan Fraser, man. Look up. Look where you're passing, lad. Look where you're passing. It was really good play there from Alan St. Max, who had... I think he found Chris Wood's feet, who then flicked it back to Ryan Fraser. But Fraser's just not looked up at the vital point there, as St. Max was looking to bomb in behind him. Brentford, let's relax a bit now. I know. This is the first season in the big league. We'll see what happens next year. Absolutely. They've had some good results this season. You know, beating Arsenal, beating Chelsea, drawing against Liverpool. They've had some good results, but we've seen with Leeds and we've seen with Sheffield in recent seasons that you do get sussed out. You definitely do get sussed out in that second season, and it's important to be able to maintain that. Alan St. Max rolls it into Ryan Fraser here. Here's Joelinton, who's going to clip one forward. Is he? No, it's blocked there by Romero. It falls to Alan St. Maximan, and that's good defensive play there by Bentancur. It falls to John Joe Shelby this time around. Here's Joelinton, who finds Joe Willock, and Willock's just been tackled there from Kulusevski, who cut back in on himself there to get his foot in the way. Brentford 2-0 versus Arsenal, 0-0 versus Palace, 4-1 against Chelsea. London is Brentford, so we'll give him it. We'll most certainly give him it. It was a brilliant performance from Brentford yesterday, of course. During the heat of the moment, myself being a Chelsea fan, very, very annoyed at the outcome, but credit where credit's due. They got their game plan right yesterday, Brentford, and they maximised and made the most of Chelsea actually switching off after they'd scored. Rudiger, don't get me wrong, what a strike that was. Don't take any credit away from that strike, but should have responded better. St Max has just gone down here. We're just waiting for play to resume. It was just from, I believe it was a block from Bentancur, and St Max was watching the ball as he went to strike, and Bentancur just sort of bodied him out of the way. But even in spite of those results, every London club is ahead of you. If London is blue for Chelsea, Brentford beat Chelsea, so therefore London is red for Brentford. Yeah, but we also beat Brentford, so then does that mean it goes back to being London is blue? All I know, Max, is it cannot be white because Chelsea have beaten Spurs multiple times. All in one season as well. I'm sure you've enjoyed this season, Max. I'm sure you've enjoyed this season. Oliver, seen as we drew versus Brentford, we should share London with them. St Max is back onto his feet here. There was a little bit of concern there. They were potentially looking at a concussion, but I don't think that will be the case. Interesting to see if he will carry on, because this could be a game-changing moment right now. This could be a game-changer. It most certainly could, because I don't think we have a player in the Premier League, really, that is at the same level or is a similar player to Alan St Maximin. I think the flair player is very much a player that is dying out. I'd say the last, I guess I'm going to have to chuck Neymar into the world-class category here to say this, but I guess the last world-class flair player at the moment is Neymar. And we don't really see them as much. Of course, you look at Ronaldo when he was younger, was a flair player, but now it's become about efficiency and proficiency. And as much as I love watching St Max, there is something different. Oh my God, what a run that is from St Maximin, and that's a brilliant tackle there from Christian Romero. The ball still finds its way to Ryan Fraser. Here's Manquillo into Ryan Fraser. Manquillo looked massive next to Ryan Fraser. It's going to fall to Jonjo Shelvey, and it's been deflected there. Good touch there from Joe Willock. Here's Willock! Oh, good defensive play there by Christian Romero. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff there from Christian Romero. I don't know how Joe Willock had got that down there. It was absolute pinball, absolute carnage in the box. That touch from Willock was brilliant. And good defensive play in the end by Romero. But back to Alan St Maximin. What I was going to say is I think what the difference is between St Maximin and probably a typical flair player is the fact that actually, what's the best way to say it? That he uses the flair in the right positions. So he will use it and then he will try and create opportunities. Whereas I think some of the other flair players that we've seen in recent years, they've been exciting to watch, but have they really been clinical? I'm not saying that St Maximin is the most clinical player in the world, because he absolutely isn't, but I think there's a level of where he knows when to dribble and when to pass, and it's a good asset, definitely a good asset to have for Alan St Maximin. I'm just trying to think of current flair players, or current players that we could typically say are flair players, and the one that obviously that sticks out is Neymar, and a few years ago I guess you could say Yannick Bolasie, more so than his counterpart Wilfried Zaha. Chelsea really haven't had one for a little while. Not really sure there's that many, to be honest with you. Ryan Fraser here, looking absolutely. Ryan Fraser just makes everyone look tall. He really does, doesn't he? Heung-min Son finds Emerson Royale. I nearly said Palmieri then, and then realised that's our Emerson. That's Chelsea's Emerson, who's on loan at Lille. Leon even. Chris Wood's been a little bit quiet in this opening 20 minutes or so. I say that as he's just jumping up for the ball, but a little bit quiet. Elise, Sam. I've not seen enough of Elise to categorise him in that, but I know he's a player that a lot of people say are very skillful, but it's whether he's a good dribbler or if he's actually someone who uses skills. There's a difference between, for example, Eden Hazard and Adel Taarabt, if you will. Eden Hazard, a phenomenal dribbler, but I wouldn't say he was a flair player. Definitely wouldn't say he was a flair player. Max says he could see them losing this 1-0. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that the way that this is going at the moment. I would not be surprised if Newcastle could get themselves a goal. If they can as well, Newcastle will be very, very pleased. No real clear-cut opportunities, though, at the moment. The best opportunity, if you are just joining us, has fallen to Harry Kane, which was a bit of a snapshot in itself. Neither keepers have been really worked at the moment. I feel like I always blank. When it comes to stuff like that. At least they use his skills and dribbling. I'll have to give him a watch. I must say I don't really watch too much Crystal Palace because does anyone actually know who they are? No, but I don't actually watch too much Elise. Does he start for Crystal Palace at the moment? I don't think he does. Because you've got Eze as well, and Eze could potentially be on that boundary with a flair player. Brentford versus Fulham would be good next year, though. Ooh. Here's Ben Davies. He's going to look forward there, looking for Harry Kane. Ball wasn't quite on though, easily read there by Fabian Schär. Here's John Joe Shelvey. Shelvey looks to clip one down the line, and he's just succeeded in doing the exact same pass as Ben Davies, but the other way around, and found the fullback. And then Harry Kane's given away the ball, and St. Max might be able to go past him, and Harry Kane's given away a foul. That might be the first booking of the game as well. Yes, it most certainly is. Harry Kane in the book for a foul on Alan St. Maximin. He looks a bit too hot to handle at the moment, Alan St. Max. Yeah, Harry Kane there, just cynical. Sam, if we beat you in 2 weeks, you won't hear the end of it. I know, Oliver. I know, I'm more than aware. I'm used to you guys now. Brentford and Fulham should be a great derby between two relatively closely placed teams. Absolutely, in terms of location and, of course, in terms of league position as well. And interesting to see what will happen. Fulham's obviously their closest rival is Chelsea. Matt Targett's whipping this free kick, and that's gone all the way through there. It was a little bit clumsy as Doherty tripped on his way through. He just tripped on his way through there, didn't he, Matt Doherty? And I think that's a corner. It is a corner for Newcastle United, their first corner of the game. At least it's 1-1 on one stat, eh? Can Newcastle get themselves a goal? They've definitely got height, haven't they, with Joelinton and Dan Burn in there. Joe Willock's up in there as well, and of course Chris Wood. So they've definitely got height. Max says he's worried about set pieces. I'm not surprised. Look at the size of him. It used to be like Brighton. In comes this corner then, whipped in towards that back post. It's headed by Dan Burn. He had to stoop a little bit to header that one, and the Tottenham fans there appealing for a free kick, and the referee's given it. I'm a little bit confused as to why he's given that, to be brutally honest with you. I think Dan Burn knew he was done for pace. He tries to shoulder barge him, but he just sticks his arm out rather than shoulder barging him properly. And I can see why he's giving it, but I think it's a little bit light. I guess it's just where it is on the pitch. Tottenham trying to play themselves out of trouble here, and they might play their way into trouble as Ryan Fraser's pressuring at the front here, and Christian Romero, calm as you like there, rolls it back into Hugo Lloris. Lloris Eventually clears the ball forward looking for Harry Kane, but Dan Burns got him in his back pocket at the moment. Good touch though from Kane following that header, and it's find Højbjerg. Here is Matt Doherty, who's going to try and look to switch it. He did see Emerson, but he's dropped it instead to Bentancur, who finds Son in some space. Son, can he turn and shoot? Son! Oh, into the hands there of Martin Dubravka. It all looked like it opened up there from Heung-min Son's perspective, but he just couldn't shift quickly enough. Had he taken that on his back foot there and just taken a glance and looked earlier, I think he could have either rolled through Kulusevski or Doherty or Harry Kane, one of the runners in front of him. Heung-min Son scored 10 goals at home this season, the most by any player in the Premier League. That must mean Mohamed Salah's scored more goals away from home then. Salah is storming his way to this golden boot once again. I don't know how many golden boots Mohamed Salah is on for now. It must be, what, 3, 4? But Mohamed Salah definitely storming away with this. You'd like to think he's home and hosed. He's on 20 goals with 10 assists. He could even get the top assists as well, Mohamed Salah. Heung-min Son, playing today, will definitely want to try and at least have a say on that golden boot winner. Does look like he's a little bit too far behind though. Here's the ball though with Kulusevski as he tries to pull that one across, cleared by Dan Burn. Just trying to see the top goal scorers list to see what that gap is, because we definitely need to mind it. It's 7 to Heung-min Son and 6 to Diego Jota. And then the fourth top goal scorer, surprise, surprise, is Sadio Mane. So Liverpool definitely scoring the most goals this season. If only they could, the goals would put them top of the league, then I'm sure they would be more appreciative of them. But you've got to score the goals at least. You've got to score the goals at least. 30 minutes on the clock here, ladies and gents, and it's still Tottenham 0, Newcastle United 0. Set pieces from who? Spurs? No, he's worried about conceding from set pieces from Newcastle. I wonder if Dan Burn gave an interview about his missing ring finger. I think he did. I think it's actually that he got it caught on a fence or something. I think he did just to, when he was younger, just to told the story just to not dispel the myth, but just to get it out there so no one thought, oh, it's for whatever reason, and it's just he got his finger caught on a fence trying to climb it as a kid. I think that's the reasoning. Here's Joelinton, who's dropped really deep there. He's almost in a left-back role there, Joelinton. Drops it into Jonjo Shelvey. Jonjo Shelvey's going to look forward. He's got a run from Joe Willock, who he's tried to pick out there, and he's just overhit that. And Matt Doherty, clever play there. Clever play to watch that one go out for a goal kick. Very, very clever play. This game is dead. It most certainly is. It most certainly is at the moment. But I said that yesterday, didn't I, about the Chelsea game, and look what happened there. Look what happened there. So don't count your chickens. Don't count your chickens, Max. This is what I was saying yesterday, and then I got an exciting game at least. I mean, it's not quite the way I wanted it. Not quite the way I wanted it, but that's just life, isn't it? That is just life. We're pretty good at scoring from them, I'd say, from corners. That is a pretty insane stat from Arsenal's perspective, that they haven't conceded from a set piece so far this season. That is a pretty phenomenal stat. Fine, I'll count sheep instead. No, don't go to sleep, Max. Don't go to sleep. Right, let's have a bit of a game. Get in the chat. Let me know, what minute is the first goal going to be in this game? What minute is the first goal going to be? Let me know. What do you think? 32 minutes on the clock. Yet to have a goal. So let's spice this up a little bit. Let me know. Newcastle United have a free kick here. Jonjo Shelvey's going to clip one forward there, looking towards Dan Burn. It's headed clear though by Tottenham. It falls to Alan St. Maximin, who tries to wriggle his way free. St. Max nearly gives the ball away there to Harry Kane on the halfway line, but it finds its way to Manquillo. Here's Ryan Fraser. Fraser finds Manquillo once again, who has to come all the way back to John Joe Shelvey, who's at the halfway line, who's had to go all the way back to Martin Dubravka. I think that sums up this game so far, doesn't it? If it's second half, you go in 56. Might not be any goals, to be fair. Come on, Wiki, we've got to be positive, lad. Got to be positive. 43 minutes, hopefully, is what Max says. So Max reckons in the next 10 minutes we're going to have ourselves a goal. So let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'm going to go with. We're going to go back in time, and it'll be the second minute. No, I'm going to go with one just before half time in 1 minute of added time. That's what I'm going with. It'll be the 46th minute. I don't know who to, but it'll be in the 46th minute. Lovely ball clipped in there, and header from Hotspur just over the crossbar. It's a lovely clipped in ball. Looking for Hotspur. It was a bit foreign, wasn't it, to see him up in that position. But Kulusevski putting a delightful clipped ball in, and Hotspur might have had a nosebleed for being that high up, but he's just headed it over, not too far. Sam Time Traveller. Yes, exactly. I'll go add an extra goal. Then you'll all feel excited about it. You will all feel excited about it. Pleasant reminder, guys, if you haven't already, do be sure to smash that like button for us, and do hit subscribe as well if you are new. We're three likes away from that magical 15 that we always head for. So it'd be absolutely fantastic as well if you could help us get there. Here is Joe Willock driving into a little bit of space here. Willock rolls it out to Ryan Fraser. Fraser into Joe Willock again. Is Willock going to be able to turn out here? He most certainly is. Here goes Joe Willock. Rolls it into Matt Target, who finds Alan St. Maximin, who's going to look to cross it. He has a weird crossing technique, doesn't he, Alan St. Maximin? It's like he tries to finesse it, but the only way I can describe it, say this is your foot. It's like, you know when you finesse, you like hit it with the inside of your foot. You hit it with like here. He seems to like hit it just on the top of his foot, not so that he knuckleballs it, but so that he kind of half hits it with his laces, kind of half hits it with the inside of his foot, and he clips it weirdly. It's like he's trying to get side spin on it. A very, very strange way to cross the ball there, unless he just mishit that one. But I've seen a couple in this game already where he's done a very, very similar sort of technique as he's looked to cross it. That's a great ball down the line there for Chris Wood to hold up the ball. He's dropped it back to Manquillo. Manquillo looks to whip that one in. Joelinton's not going to bother jumping for it though. Not sure why. Comes back out to John Joe Shelvey here, who finds Alan St. Maximin, who's been keeping Emerson Royale pretty quiet at the moment. But that being said, St. Max himself hasn't really done too much in the way of creating opportunities at the moment. Fabian Schär there clipping one forward, looking for Joelinton, and that does go out of play for a Spurs goal kick. Nearly forgot the team name then. Jesus, nearly forgot the team name. So it will be a goal kick to Spurs, and Spurs are going to try and play this one out again. I always panic when teams try and play it out, and that's why, because they've given the ball away here, and St. Maximin's managed to pick up the ball. Can he do anything with it though? There's plenty of Spurs shirts back though, and Alan St. Maximin's got himself away from Emerson there. Referee plays advantage. Should have been a foul, most certainly. He drops it into Joelinton, who finds Joe Willock. Willock, is he fouled there by Son on the edge of the box? And the referee says he most certainly is. Heung-min Son gives away a silly foul, really, on the edge of the box. A really, really silly foul. He's just stuck his leg out, Heung-min Son, trying to stop Joe Willock, and I don't know why he's gone in for that tackle. Hotspur stood right in front of him, about to take the ball, and now there's a free kick opportunity in a good, very, very good position, about 20 yards out. It'll suit a right footer, but Matt Target, I'm sure, will be sniffing around there to see what he can do. Let's see who's over it. Fabian Schär, John Joe Shelvey and Matt Target are all the players over the ball here for Newcastle United. Shame they don't have Kieran Trippier, because this would suit him down to a T. They have got a draft excluder in the wall, which is Matt Doherty. It is mental how this has become a thing, like players laying behind the wall. It is actually mental how this has become a thing. But Doherty is laying behind the wall here. And this is a good opportunity here for potentially Newcastle United to get their noses in front. It would be a little bit against the run of play, but that being said, Spurs haven't done too much. Matt Target, it looks like, the January transfer, looks like he's going to take it. It is Fabian Schär, it's through the wall and it's in! Oh, Hugo Lloris, that is awful goalkeeping! And Fabian Schär puts Newcastle United 1-0 up! That is awful goalkeeping from Fabian Schär. From Hugo Lloris. What poor goalkeeping! Really, really poor goalkeeping. And Fabian Schär, he just hits it through the wall. Maybe Lloris didn't quite see it, but it was his side of the goal. It was his side of the goal. He should be saving that. And Newcastle find themselves, very fortunately, off the basis of that strike, to be 1-0 up. He must not see it till late there, Hugo Lloris. I think they're maybe appealing that Chris Wood is offside. There was just a little bit of a glimpse to make sure he was onside. He does see it late, but I don't think there's an excuse there for it. Does it take a deflection? It doesn't hit Chris Wood. It's just whether Chris Wood is offside. That is the question. If Chris Wood is offside and deemed to be in the line, then... oh, I don't know. I don't want to think about it. It's daft if that counts. If that doesn't count, sorry. We are delaying the restart, but I'm pretty certain that it's going to continue, so I'm going to update the thing. Oh, damn it, I've put Fabian Schär's name. Possible handball. They're looking at a possible handball here off Chris Wood. What? So they think it touched Chris Wood on the way through, and it indeed isn't Fabian Schär's goal, is what they're trying to claim there. But they have not given it. And thank God, because that would have been absolutely bonkers considering. I mean, from that angle anyway, you couldn't tell whether the ball had touched Chris Wood anyway, let alone had it touched his arm, let alone 1, 2, 3, 4, Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. No, it's just a good finish, Sam. Lloris looks so French, inconsistent FC. I don't think it's a good finish. I think Lloris has made the mistake. I think Lloris will be kicking himself for that one. I don't think it's that great a finish. Oh, I've moved my camera, there we are. Yeah, I think Lloris will be annoyed at that. A goalkeeper of his calibre as well, to let one like that in. It's gone, not through the wall, but it's gone through the gap which Chris Wood has left. And, yeah, I think he'll be annoyed. I think he will be annoyed. But clearly something they'd worked on. That's a good touch, though, by Doherty, who finds Heung-min Son, who's going to drive into a little bit of space here. Heung-min Son keeps going. Oh, good defensive play there by Manquillo. Manquillo had just... he was absolutely bombing back there. Absolutely bombing back. Might not be any goals, to be fair, says Wiki. I mean, you got that one wrong, Wiki, didn't you? You got that one wrong. But we all got our minute prediction wrong as well. We all got our minute prediction wrong. Fabian Schär scoring on the 39th minute. Tottenham do find themselves with a corner here. How is the response from Tottenham Hotspur? It was a good run there from Son. It's whipped in at that front post and it's met with a header there. It falls out. He comes back out there to Eric Dyer. Heung-min Son whips it back in and it's flicked on and it's in! It's in! Ben Davies gets his head on the following ball, whipped back in, and it's 1-1. It is 1-1, and ladies and gentlemen, it is game on. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. We were moaning that we didn't have enough action, didn't we? We absolutely moaned. And they took it personally. Spurs and Newcastle have taken it personally. And it's a great ball in from Heung-min Son. Just what a ball in that is from Heung-min Son. It's a good header from Ben Davies. It's a really good ball back in there by Heung-min Son. It's flicked on by Ben Davies. And Fabian Schär Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. But that'll do it for Tottenham Hotspur. They'll be pleased with that. Got themselves back level, and maybe a bit of sloppiness from Newcastle United themselves there. Maybe a little bit of sloppiness from Newcastle United there as Ben Davies manages to get himself on the score sheet. And Spurs were putting on a bit of a press there, and the referee's given that as a foul. But nice to see us get some action. Nice to see us get some action in this game. Good stuff, lovely stuff. Just what we wanted, eh? Just what we wanted. A little bit of excitement and action in this game. Sam, my goal was right. Yeah, you were right. You said Spurs don't score from set plays. They didn't, though. They didn't. They scored from the following ball whipped in. So technically, it doesn't count. Had it been the initial ball, then yes, it would have counted. But it wasn't, unfortunately. But that's just opened up this game just a little bit, hasn't it? That's just opened it up, made it a little bit more entertaining for us as Manquillo plays a bit of a short back pass there to Dubravka, who somehow manages to clear that one, and Joe Willett puts a press on. Cleared forward, though, by Eric Dyer. Headed back again, though, by Fabian Schär. Son picks the ball up, though, off Fabian Schär's clearance. Here's Bentancur, who drops it off to Heung-min Son again. Oh, and that was a ball there, looking forward from Bentancur. Wasn't quite on the same wavelength as Kulusevski. A corner started that play, yeah, but it doesn't count as a set piece goal. If it had been like every touch had been from a Spurs player, then I would have given it as a set piece goal. Say if the ball was whipped in, Harry Kane flicks it on at the front post, then someone else touches it and then it goes in, that is. But because it was blocked and then Eric Dyer played it back out, that is not a set piece goal. You are correct, Wiki. You are most certainly correct. We've got 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. That'll just be for that VAR decision, or the potential VAR decision on the Newcastle United goal, and of course having 2 goals in this game as well. Here is Ben Davies, who's going to roll one forward into Doherty. I'm quite surprised we've had 2 goals, actually. Neither side, they look like they could score, but neither side really had threatened the goal, and then we've had 2 goals in, 4 minutes? Not bad, not bad. Emerson there gives away the ball, and Jonjo Shelvey able to pick out Alan St. Max, but St. Maximan quickly shoved off the ball there, and there's a bit of argy-bargy going on here as Bentancur puts his face in St. Max's. Joelinton wasn't happy with that either, as there looked like there was a bit of a head-to-head action there, and Joelinton came in and pushed it, and now it's all kicking off. It is all kicking off, and I'm sure VAR will check whether Bentancur put his head towards Alan St. Maximan there. I'm sure there'll be a check on that, because that to me, I don't know if he moved his head backwards or forwards. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite tell from the camera angle. But Joelinton's reaction definitely deserved of a yellow card. Martin Atkinson just taking his time here, speaking to VAR, just to double check there wasn't any violent conduct that went on in that. It's just calling the players forward as well. St. Maximan is going to get himself a yellow card. It's a poor corner in the first place. Yeah, it was, yeah. So St. Max gets himself in the book with a yellow card, and then I think there will be also a yellow card here for Rodrigo Bentancur as well, the Spurs player who really initiated all of that. St. Max, to be fair, didn't really look too arsed, if I'm honest with you. And that is another yellow card out. I'm intrigued to see if there's a yellow card here for Joelinton coming his way as well for the reaction. And Joelinton gets himself in the book, like I say, gets himself in the book for that reaction. He just came over, and I don't know why he had to lose his head like that there, Joelinton. Comes over, gives Bentancur a massive shove. I'm not sure there was too much in it, if I'm honest with you. Oh, I think Bentancur's been very, very lucky there. Had his head been taken off, like as in he'd taken his head back and not had it on St. Max's head, I think they might have given that as a headbutt, but it just ended up being a shove with the head rather than an actual headbutt, which is very, very fortunate. I think half-time will come nicely here, just to cool down the tempo of this game. It's getting a little bit fiery there as Højbjerg goes down as well. I think it'll... I think it's needed this half-time. I think it is needed. Yes, there will be a half-time game, Max. We're going to do a bit of a quiz. As always, we'll do another quiz. Eric Dyer here, and that is half-time. There we are. There is the half-time whistle. And it is half-time. It is Tottenham Hotspur 1, Newcastle United 1. The goal, of course, coming from... Ooh, a little bit of afters here between the coaches on the bench here. A few people just gobbing off at a few others. And there we are, get that updated. A few people just gobbing off. A few people just having words there as they go down to the tunnel. Dan Burn, not Dan Ben, he's my mate. Dan Burn having a bit of a mouthing off as well in there. This second half definitely has a lot of fire to it. I'm saying that now. It will definitely have a lot of fire to it. But at his half-time, let me get the quiz. Let me get some half-time quizzing going. Let me know your thoughts as well in the chat on the first half. Let me know your thoughts and what you've made of it, because the two goals have come... not really against the run of play, but I wouldn't say either side has really created any clear-cut opportunities before the goal. And it's very unusual to see that two teams would just that quickly go and score. And I guess you can say it's maybe being clinical. I think Hugo Lloris will be very annoyed with that first one. Oliver tried to claim that actually was a good goal and a good strike from Fabian Schär. Don't get me wrong, he's hit it well, he's placed it well, but it's not quite what Hugo Lloris will have wanted, of course, with it going in the back of the net. But I think he will feel very, very much like he is at fault for that goal, and I'd be inclined to agree, if I'm brutally honest with you. I think he should save Newcastle's goal. As for the Spurs goal, not a bad ball, whipped in on the second occasion. Like Wiki says, it was a poor corner in the first place, but on the second occasion, not too a great ball in, and Ben Davies does well, rises above and puts the ball in the back of the net. So there you are all caught up within about 30 seconds of what was going on there, and I think we've got a good second half on our hands, because maybe that fiery nature that we just started to see at the end of that first half might start to come into it and might start to cause a few problems for both sides. Max, you are the Spurs fan in here today, so I'm going to grab a few Spurs players and you can decide who you would like to do the quiz on. So we have Gareth Bale, we have Heung-min Son. Neymar's in here. I've never noticed that before. Never noticed Neymar in here. Don't know why it surprised me, but Eriksen. Have we done Eriksen before? I think we've done Eriksen before. We've done Christian Eriksen before. You're gonna go with Sonny? You're 100% sure? There will be Harry Kane in here. Do Sonny. He said do Sonny. Okay, we'll do Sonny. Are you sure you don't want to do this man? No? Okay. You said do Sonny. You said do Sonny. Just checking if there's any others who are decent. It is decent! Tell them, lad. There's not that many Spurs players in here. Oh, and there's Jan Vertonghen as well, in case if we get bored. I'm sure, Kane, if we have time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But let's move on and let's do Heung-min Son. We're definitely not doing him. Let's do Heung-min Son. Let me just check we haven't done the thingies before. I don't think so. But the first question is Heung-min Son. Oh, he is, isn't he? He is, yes. I totally forgot about that. He is a former Spurs player, isn't he? The first question on Heung-min Son is true or false. I probably shouldn't lift it up here, just in case if you can actually. I don't think you can see the answers like that. But just in case if you can, I don't think I should lift it quite that high. True or false? Son became the most expensive Asian player in the world when he signed. When Spurs signed him in 2015. He's been at the club 7 years now, man. 7 years. Did he become the most expensive Asian player, though? I mean, I guess the question you've got to ask yourself... I've not seen the answer, by the way. But I guess the question you've got to ask yourself is, who would be higher? That is the question. I mean... Depends on also as well who counts as an Asian player. Despite the number of people in Asia, football it doesn't tend to be their main sport. Max is going with yes. Yeah, I think I'd agree. I don't think there'd be anyone else. Who maybe Park Ji-sung, but the time when Man United would have signed him, 30 million would have been a lot of money. So I'd go with yes as well if I was you. But let's see if Max is correct. Max, I'll say true. I can't see anyone else can come on the half. What? I'll say true. 1 sec. I'm going to see if anyone else can come on the halftime show. All right. Thank you, Max. Thank you. I'm guessing that's what you meant to say there. Me trying to translate it. But yes, it is true. It is true. And as Max says, it was 30 million. It was about 30 million, the transfer fee that was around. I can't remember who he signed from, though, which is going to annoy me. It is going to annoy me. Max says he's ready for the next one. Let me just check. Who did he sign from? I'm sure Max will probably tell me before I even get to type in Heung-min's name. He's only 29. Heung-min Son feels like he's been in the Premier League for so long now. And I think I need to slow down. It was Bayer Leverkusen. I remember it now. I remember his FIFA card. But it was Bayer Leverkusen. Nice. Right, move on. The next question on Heung-min Son is, which country does he play for? Which nationality does he play for? Let's see. I feel like this question's easier than the question before, which is strange because usually like the fifth is the hardest one. Germany. Imagine wins Asian Player of the Year, is Asia's most expensive player in the world, comes from Germany. I wonder if that's possible now that I've said it, because obviously you could be dual nationality, but I guess you have to declare, don't you, which nationality you are. You do have to declare. So I don't think that would be possible. That being said, didn't what's his name? The young German lad who is German English. What is his name? Who plays for Bayern Munich? He won the English Player of the Year and then made his German debut a few days later. But it is South Korea. You most certainly are. Asia's most expensive player who's German. Yes, most certainly. But it is South Korea. You are absolutely correct. Heung-min Son, the South Korean, one of the best. And I think if you remember as well, if you cast your mind back, and I think I've got this correctly, that South Korean football, well, South Koreans generally have to serve time during the military unless they are exempt for a particular reason. And I do believe, if I am correct, that Heung-min Son's South Korea side did win the Asian equivalent of the Euros, which made them exempt from it, as they are high levels of athletes, which is interesting, very, very interesting. Hopefully that isn't a question. I haven't read the rest of the questions. But anyway, question number 3 is, in which capital city do South Korea play their home games? In which capital city do South Korea play their home games? That is the most stupid question I've ever heard of. In which capital city? I've not looked at the answer to this, so I could look a fool, but surely there's only going to be one capital city it could be, right? Surely. Surely. Surely there's only one it can be. Right, let me have a look what it is. How's your geography, Max? That is the question. How is your geography? Oh, we did some of it in lockdown. That's cool. That's cool. How is your geography? In which capital city do South Korea play their home games? That is the question that beckons at the moment. The capital of... Can I use a globe? I have one. Try and guess it first. I'll give you a clue if needs be to what letter it begins with. I'm going to give you a clue. It begins with S. I'm trying to work out how to pronounce it. Like, I know what it is, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Oh, my phone just died. Brilliant. I have not a clue. LMAO. It is... I'm going to have to play this out loud. I have no clue how to pronounce this. I'm looking at it, and because it's written down, I'm really struggling to work out how to pronounce it. Right. Right. And then we go... and turn mic. Do this. Seoul. Oh my god. That was so stressful. I could not work out how to pronounce it then. I knew it was... Oh, I could not pronounce it. Seoul. There we are. That, honestly, the spelling of it completely threw me off. Like, I knew the capital of Korea, and I was like, the spelling of it, like, have I got it wrong? Is that not the capital of South Korea? I was like, what have I done? It's Seoul. And it's spelled Seoul. That's how it's spelled. Seoul. But there we are. The fourth question, Max, is, along with Son, 2 other Spurs players scored over 20 goals in the 16-17 season. Can you name them? Can you name the 2 players that scored over 20 goals in the 16-17 season? That seems like an incredible feat for Spurs, considering, they've not won anything in 14 years. Seems like an incredible feat, but they did it. Admittedly, that's not going to get you any bonus points, is it? Not going to get you any bonus points whatsoever. Max doesn't have a clue. Surely, Max. 16-17. Come on, you'll kick yourself if you don't get these. You will kick yourself. I'm telling it now. I'm telling it. I'm saying it. I'm seeing it how it is. You're going to kick yourself if you don't get this. You actually are. You're going to be so gutted if you don't get these. Like, next level gutted. Next level. It's so obvious. So obvious. I know it's obvious for me because obviously I can see the card. What? 2 other players for Spurs scored over 20 goals in the 16-17 season. 2 other Spurs players, Max. You're going to be so annoyed at yourself if you don't get this, Max. Oh, for Spurs. Yes, for Spurs. Who is that Man U guy? What was that supposed to be said? I thought you said Korean. No. Along with Son, 2 other Spurs players scored over 20 goals in the 16-17 season. Name them. Kane and Eriksen. I can tell you it's wrong, but I won't tell you why it's wrong. So have another guess. Let's see what you reckon. Why do you reckon it's wrong, Max? Have you got both of them wrong? Have you got one of them wrong? Or am I bluffing? I don't know about Eriksen. We don't talk about Eriksen. We're about to get back underway here, Max, so we're going to have to put this on hold if you cannot guess the final player. We are about to get back underway, so let me start the crowd sound once again, and we'll get ourselves all ready and sorted. But there we are underway. Max, guess who's back again, says Oliver. Kane and who? Come on, you're going to kick yourself if you don't get this. I'll give you a clue. He left the club this year. Dele Alli, he's already got it. Oliver, how have you got that? How have you got that? I'm so confused. It is Dele Alli. Yes, it most certainly is Dele Alli. Most certainly is Dele Alli. Emerson there tries to clip it. Ooh, is that a foul? I think it is. And that's in the book as well. Another booking. That one this time for Dan Burn, who's not pleased as well with Harry Kane there, who went down in a heap. I'm using witchcraft. Why is Tom's chat being a madness? What's popping? Are you just like, what did I just say? What's popping? Are you just like winding him up, saying that he's a Newcastle fan? Is that what you're doing? Let me move this. Lol. But there we are. Nicely done, Max. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. So, let's see how this second half fares then, ladies and gents. Let's see how it fares. In comes the free kick from Son there. It's flicked on and it's come out of the back, though. Here is Højbjerg. He's going to clip one forward there, looking for Harry Kane. Oh. Straight into the hands of Martin Dubravka there, who came out. Someone tried to report him and telling him to do mad stuff. What? But at least I don't. Google. Is that what Tom used to do? Is that what Tom used to do? He used to Google all the answers. It wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. Seems like the kind of thing that Tom would do. Not knowing Tom very well, but with the amount of rubbish he comes out with. It made me laugh yesterday because he was saying about how Arsenal are going to finish above Chelsea. And I was like, yeah, there's a real possibility. But don't forget, this is a kid who said that this was their worst ever season. Oh, what? Is he offside? Who snuck in at the back post there? Was that Doherty? It was Doherty. The ball whipped in there. I think it was from Harry Kane. It went all the way through. And I thought Son was going to get the touch on it. And then Doherty at the back post taps one in. 2 on Tottenham. Have turned the game on its head. The 2 fullbacks from the left-hand side have done it. It's a great ball in from Harry Kane. I don't think he looks at Son. Son misses it. And then at the back post with a nice little diving header, Matt Doherty puts his side 2-1 up. That's just boring if you Google the answers. What do you get out of that? Son doesn't touch it, so he's not offside. And Doherty has just put his side 1 further up. That's a quick start, but 48th minute, you don't want to score in that minute, I'll tell you what. Chelsea fans will tell you. Don't want to score in the 48th minute, do we? Oh, need to make this text small. Tottenham turn it around very, very quickly there, didn't they? Oh! But Newcastle nearly went up the other end there. I think that was Chris Wood who had an opportunity on goal there. That was almost instantly, that response there from Chris Wood. And that wasn't too far away, you know. That was not too far away whatsoever. FPL have given what? The last one as a Son assist. If Son's not touched the ball, then they'll change it because otherwise I think he's offside. I'll be back in 2. I just need to get my phone charger because my phone has died. Whether I can find out where my phone charger is a different question. Here it is. Give it, give it, give it. A ginger from Belgium. No, wrong one. A ginger from Sweden. Come on, let's have it. Let's have it, Newcastle. Let's have a goal. Come on, Newcastle United. Let's see it. Let's see it. Yeah, of course, they're always going to change it to Harry Kane. Otherwise, there'd have been big problems. It's not like the FIA. They're not just going to sometimes let people do stuff and sometimes not. Harry Kane looks forward again. That's a lovely ball over the top there. And I think that was Kulusevski trying to run in behind there and safely into the hands of Martin Dubravka. Spurs completely turned this game on its head at the moment. Interested to see how the response will be from Newcastle United here, though. Looking down the barrel of their third straight defeat. Third straight defeat here. After such a great bit of form, my FPL's gone pear-shaped. I haven't really been paying attention. I haven't at the minute, but I'll take the Kane assist, you know. I'll take the Kane assist. Hopefully St. Max got the assist because he was fouled on the other goal as well. That would be helpful. That would be helpful. Let's see if Newcastle are going to move this ball a little bit faster. It's been a little bit in second gear from Newcastle United, especially in the second half. Admittedly, we are only 6 minutes in, but they'll have wanted a better start to the second half than has just come their way, finding themselves 2-1 down to Spurs, because now you are asking a question and causing yourself problems, because if you're 2-1 down now, that means if you want to win, and don't quote me on this quick maths, but you need to score 2 goals if you want to win. I mean, who'd have thought, eh? You have to score more goals than your opponent. But that's not what they will have wanted at half-time. I think Eddie Howe would have been pleased relatively with the first half performance. The fact that they got themselves a goal, they did manage to get themselves ahead. But to come out that quickly and then all of a sudden find themselves 2-1 down, and most of all for Matt Doherty to sort of just swan in unmarked, relatively unmarked, and Manquillo not really putting a shift. You've got to wonder as well, Kieran Trippier, if he's defending that. I think Trippier stops that from coming in. I definitely think he does, but Newcastle do have a bit of talent to take off the bench. Like I say, Bruno Guimaraes could be a player that might come into this game, as Jonjo Shelvey there looks over the top looking for Joelinton, whose touch is good, and Hugo Lloris is a little bit stranded in no man's land there, and Chris Wood tried to make a run in towards the front post there as Joelinton whipped it in towards the back post, and Joe Willock trying to put a press on Emerson Royale has only succeeded in giving away a foul there. Joelinton there, it was a great touch, it was a good run from Joelinton as well, who made the diagonal run. It was a good first touch, it wasn't a great one though, and as a result he took the ball too wide. He will have been hoping in hindsight to have taken that one a little bit better, because Hugo Lloris was absolutely stranded, and had he taken the initial touch better, then he would have had an open goal. But I guess that's the fine lines in football, isn't it, between world class and just good players, or even just average players. Is that, and Spurs trying to play the way out from the back there. I wasn't overly confident that had found its way to Hojbjerg, but it has now. Hojbjerg drops it into Kulusevski, who finds Harry Kane, who's dropped in deep, who finds Kulusevski. And now, if he can see Doherty, Doherty's free at the back post. He rolls it across instead to Heung-min Son. There we are. 3-1, and surely that is game over as Heung-min Son gets himself on the score sheet, ladies and gents. Gets himself on the score sheet, and that was an emphatic counter-attack from Spurs. A really, really good counter-attack. Absolutely emphatic from end to end within about 4 passes. Played their way out from the back nicely. And a lovely finish from Heung-min Son. Good stuff there from Sonny. Very, very good stuff there from Sonny. A lovely, lovely counter-attack from Spurs. I thought they were going to give it to Doherty. Doherty probably would have been scared to shoot from that far up, having just scored one himself. But it is 3-1 to Newcastle, to Spurs, and that should wrap this game up, really. That should wrap it up. They've been clinical on the attack here, Spurs, on the counter-attack. They've been very, very, very clinical. But questions again about the defending. How was that able to go through so swiftly and easily through the Spurs from the Newcastle defence? That is the question that I will pose to you. It was very, very easy for Spurs on that counter-attack then. Very easy. And Max says it's never wrapped up with Spurs, but I'd like to think so. I would definitely like to think so with that one. I predict if Tottenham score more goals, they get 3 points. But if Newcastle get more goals, they get 3 points. And if they have an equal amount of goals, they'll get 1 point. Wow, Max, you are a genius. You are a genius. FPL points, come on. I've Kulusevski, Son and Kane, says Oliver. Coming up clutch for him. Coming up clutch for him, most certainly. It was a lovely ball forward as well from Harry Kane to find Kulusevski on that one. Remember, 3-3. Heung-min Son, though, he's got himself another goal to try and close that gap towards Mo Salah at the top of the Golden Boot table. Doesn't look like it'll happen, but got to keep the pressure on. I don't know how many games we've got left of the season. About 10 games left of the season. Son would have to go on a great run, and Mo Salah would have to drop off the face of the earth, really, for Mohamed Salah. Who knows? He fired a blank yesterday. Does move him up into second, though. Tied with Diego Jota, of course. Just slightly ahead of Sadio Mane and Cristiano Ronaldo. That was a lovely counter-attack, though, from Spurs. A really, really lovely counter-attack. It was, honestly, I really enjoyed that counter-attack to watch. It was so fast, so fluid. A brilliant goal. Brilliant goal from Spurs. I hate to say it, but it was a great goal. And that just moves them slightly closer to Arsenal as well. St. Max goes straight by Hojbjerg there, who didn't quite commit to that, and he's tried to drop it back there to Joe Willock, and just not quite on the same wavelength. Jota has had a great season. He most certainly has, yeah. I think he's gone a little bit under the radar, Diego Jota. I think he's gone a little bit under the radar because of the amount of goals that Mohamed Salah has scored. But when needed is definitely the phrase used for Diego Jota, who is, Son's having a good season and he's done really well there and he's dancing into space. That reminded me of the goal against Burnley he scored, and he rolls it into Harry Kane. Oh, good block there by Fabian Schär. He just got his feet a little bit tangled up there, Harry Kane. Antoine Griezmann's favourite player. Here is Bentancur, who finds Hojbjerg once again. I don't know what Spurs have changed in this second half, but they just look so much more fluid. That's a lovely ball there from Kane, who looks to switch the play there to Emerson. And we are going to see a few substitutions, and one of those will be the introduction of Jacob Murphy, and Joelinton will be coming off, and the other one, the important one, is Bruno Guimaraes will be coming on for Newcastle United, and don't know who will be making way there. I'm assuming it will be one of the attackers. Number 19. Manquillo. Ooh. Manquillo has come off, so that will be a shift potentially to a 3 at the back. You would imagine. Is that going to be a 3 at the back? They don't seem to have the repertoire of players on the pitch at the moment. Jonjo Shelvey's just been given some orders there though, and by the looks of the hand gesture from Bruno Guimaraes, it looked like it's going to be a 3-5-2. With the 3 at the back being Shah, Dan Burn and Matt Targett, with them 5 across midfield. Interesting. Newcastle clearly definitely think they can get something from this game. Spurs 4th on goal difference. Crikey. Of course, Arsenal do have to play tomorrow night against Crystal Palace as well. Here's Alan St. Maximin driving into some space. Rolls it into Matt Targett there. Matt Targett's going to put it across the box. Oh! I think it was Ben Davies that time. I think that was Ben Davies coming in all hell for leather. And he tried to get in front of his man. And I think what has he done? He nearly put it in the back of his own net. It's Bentancur actually, I do believe. And he nearly put it in his own net. It looks a bit closer here from up in, I'm going to say the commentary position. It's not quite the commentary position. But it does look a bit closer up here from the camera angle. Most definitely. And that will be a corner. They're taking the first one and it's gone out for another corner. Please beat that rotten lot, Oliver. Absolutely. Let's hope. It'd do us a favour, most certainly. Matt Targett to take in this in-swinging corner then. Whips it in. There was about 5 Newcastle players all underneath that, and it's managed to go back out there to Matt Targett. The flag has gone up for offside though on Matty Targett, and that'll suit Tottenham Hotspur very, very easily. I am desperate for the toilet, so I am going to pop to the loo, and I will leave you in the more than capable hands of no one. But I will be back in a quick minute, and hopefully nothing happens during this time. Hopefully not. Right, I'll be back. Oh, I need to move my green screen. Guess who's back? Back again. Sam is back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? No points for guessing who's back. It's me. And I did also sing it in the song. Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gents. 61 minutes on the clock. Here's Bruno in a little bit of space. We don't talk about Bruno. It's whipped in there. Whoa. Easily read, though, by Christian Romero, who's not really had too many questions to be asked of him. He plays a 1-2 with Son there. Not sure Son knew much about the 1-2 as it came off, cannoned off. I think that was Joe Willock of all players. Here is Kulusevski, who's going to try and roll one through there, looking for Harry Kane. It was intercepted by Jonjo Shelvey. Here's Kulusevski once again, who chips it back to Romero. Here is Kulusevski once again. Dyer finds Ben Davies. Good turn there from Højbjerg to find Christian Romero into Kulusevski. Kulusevski finds Son. Son goes wider to Doherty. Doherty, this is promising. Lovely 1-2 at the edge of the box there. He's going to pull it back as he whips it in. There's Emerson Royal. Oh, it's snuck in. And that is in. There's another fullback on the score sheet. And Newcastle United are crumbling. They're absolutely crumbling, Newcastle United. 4 different scorers for Spurs. Emerson with his first goal, as Max says. And what a A lovely bit of build-up play, but you've got to question the Newcastle United defending. What were they doing, ladies and gents? What were they doing? It's not good enough from a Newcastle United perspective. There's not enough press. And with 30 minutes left to play, this could be a cricket score. This could absolutely be a cricket score. And for the second time this weekend, the team that has scored first finds themselves 4-1 down after a change of fortune in the second half. It's a good goal. It's well played by Spurs, but there's so many question marks around the defending. So many question marks around the defending. And wow. And weirdly enough, I'm pretty certain those goal times, I'm pretty certain 3 of those are the same as Chelsea's in the Chelsea game. I think 3 of those, because Rudiger, yeah, I think 3 of those goal times are the same as Chelsea's. Unfortunately, it's just the other way around. I was hoping for this to be Newcastle's day, but not quite, clearly. But Spurs just don't look done, do they? And Newcastle are falling apart. Like Oliver says, Tom isn't happy. I'm not surprised. And that's a lovely ball there from Harry Kane. And Heung-min Son bearing down on the goal. Son! Oh, he puts it wide! Sonny! Spurs look emphatic. But Son, he should have scored! Oh my gosh, Heung-min Son. What? How has he not scored there? That was the easiest one of the lot of them. 1-on-1 with the keeper, bearing down, and he somehow, I don't know how, he's not scored. It's a great ball over the top from Harry Kane. It's a great first touch as well, a beautiful first touch. Rolls it onto that left foot, and he's just scuffed it, hasn't he? He's just scuffed it. He really has just scuffed that one. That's unfortunate. But Spurs do not look done one bit here. It's looking like a long afternoon for Tottenham Hotspur, for Newcastle. It looks like a fun afternoon for Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be a training session here. Intrigued to see what Newcastle fans think to the performance that's going on at the moment. Because I can tell you now, this is not what Newcastle United have been working towards. It most certainly isn't. Newcastle haven't spent all that money and all that time and effort and all that hard work that Eddie Howe and the whole Newcastle team have put in to go to Spurs and get battered 4-1. I know there's still a massive gulf in quality between the two sides. And okay, maybe this might be revert to format, if you will, but they shouldn't be conceding 4 here. Spurs have, in the second half, been good, but it hasn't been the greatest in that sense. In the first half, Spurs weren't great. You'd say that they were second best. Newcastle didn't really create anything. And now they found themselves 4-1 down. It's a lot nicer to be on the neutral perspective here with a 4-1 defeat coming someone's way. Kulusevski did just go down there. Emerson's just getting some tactical analysis from Antonio Conte, who looks hard at work this afternoon. Mike's put LMAO, Sonny, no. I know, he should have scored that one, Heung-min Son. I think he'll be gutted. I think he'll be absolutely gutted. Spurs can't carry on scoring like this, otherwise I don't have any room to put where the goal scorers are. Fabian Schär's goal's just going to have to be ruled out. Tottenham have scored 2+ goals in the last 6 straight Premier League matches. And they haven't had a longer such run in the Premier League since February to April 2017. And of course, that was that 16-17 season where Harry Kane, Heung-min Son and Dele Alli scored all over 20 goals. If I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be leaving. I wouldn't away from home, because number one, you might not be able to, and number two, you've made that trip all the way from Newcastle to London. I wouldn't be leaving away from home. If it was at home, I'd definitely be leaving. You've paid good money to be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You might as well try and enjoy at least some good football. Is there a fire drill? I don't think so. Maybe there needs to be, because clearly Spurs are on fire right now. Is that what you were hoping for there, Max? No, I'd leave and get the early train back. Well, that's where you and me disagree. I'd prefer just to see my team play. But I guess you see Crystal Palace play week in, week out, so it's not as much of a excitement for you. Whereas when I go and see Chelsea, it's like, wow, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it for weeks, whereas you just see them every weekend, so you've lost that. Almost desensitised, if you will. Oh, that's a great ball in there, whipped in towards that front post, and it's Joe Willock who's just headed over. It's not a bad header there from Willock. They would have needed that. I tell you what, they would have needed that. Newcastle United, it could have put a different shift. Max, are you confident now that Spurs have actually won it? Are you actually confident now that Spurs have won it, or are you just staying quiet? Jamal Lascelles is going to be coming onto the pitch. Chris Wood is coming off. What? What have I just seen? What are we playing for here, Newcastle? A 4-1 loss? Like, what? Maybe a change of formation, but who's going to play up front? And that's a lovely ball by Harry Kane there, and he's absolutely split the defence. And Kulusevski going up against Dan Burn, back into Harry Kane. Harry Kane! Oh, it's taken a deflection off Emerson, and that'll have gone out of play for a goal kick. He tried the outside of the boot one there. He definitely tried it, but hit Emerson, who was most certainly in the way. It's a great pass from Harry Kane. I don't know how he's gone from being like one of the most clinical strikers in Premier League history to then all of a sudden having the ability to play deep and drop in deep. He's honestly, he's a brilliant footballer. Brilliant footballer. I'm confident wouldn't if it was West Ham. Yeah, I mean, I remember that West Ham game where was it you were 3-0 up and then they came back thanks to a Lanzini wonder strike. I was at Erin's uni flat last year. Was it last year? I think it was. I was at Erin's uni flat last year, and I was sat in the kitchen. And bear in mind, of course, that Erin lived with full girls. I just started absolutely shouting. Erin wasn't even in the kitchen with me. I just went absolutely bonkers when Lanzini smacked that one into the top corner. And then everyone was like, "Sam, are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I am fine." But good times. I enjoyed watching it. I most certainly did enjoy watching that. That was good stuff from Manuel Lanzini. I'd love a little bit of drama right now. I would love a little bit of drama right now. Unfortunately, we got the drama yesterday by the looks of things. The drama for the weekend coming in that Brentford versus Chelsea game at the moment. That was Bale's second debut, was it? Wow. Oh yeah, I think he scored, didn't he? Have I got that right? Did he score? And everyone was like, oh, what a great second debut. They're 3-0 up. And then, all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, 3-3, woohoo! Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can't predict football. I think that's the thing I love about it. That is the thing I love about it. You just cannot predict it. It's not like with like basketball and stuff. The likelihood is... yes, it might not be close, but you're going to see goals. Whereas I don't think you're ever going to see to the same level, or the same degree, a comeback that is that hard to do. A 3-goal comeback in 10 minutes is absolutely phenomenal. Bale didn't score. Which game am I thinking of then? Which game am I thinking of? Or did he go through and miss? Is that what I'm thinking? I remember watching a game of Spurs at Erin's. Surely I can't have watched two Spurs games whilst at Erin's. Oh, it's given away there by Højbjerg, and that's fallen to St. Max, but they've recovered it relatively okay there, Spurs. Yeah, went through and put it wide. Yeah, it must have been the same game, yeah. I thought he'd scored it. I thought he'd scored the third. Oh, Bruno there, just fouled on the edge of the box. Just over 15 minutes left on the clock, and Tottenham look like they're doing everything possible to take the momentum and the passion out of this game from a Tottenham perspective. Get themselves home and host the big 3 points for them in their pursuit of a top 4 spot, especially with West Ham putting on the earlier pressure. And then that has that leapfrog effect, doesn't it? It has that leapfrog effect, and it has that little bit of pressure now on Arsenal for tomorrow night, who will find themselves at the beginning of the game. They will find themselves down in 5th place. Jonjo Shelvey whips in this, is headed by Jamal Lascelles and cleared there by Heung-min Son, who's cleared it into a lovely bit of space there, and Kulusevski being charged down by Alan St. Max. Kulusevski, Alan St. Maximan's done really well. He's taken the ball and he's skipped by him. But that's great defending there by Christian Romero, who's not taking any prisoners whatsoever. And I'm not sure who's gone down there in a Spurs white. I think it's Emerson. It is Emerson Royale who's gone down. 3 goals in like 15 minutes. Yeah, it was a fantastic game, that one. Fantastic. It's always better, isn't it? Like I said yesterday with the Brentford thing. It's always better when it's... I don't know why Emerson went down there. Oh, Dan Burn off the ball. Just shoulder barges him. Can VAR do something about that? He's on a yellow card already. He's just ran straight into Emerson there. I mean, I would be, I'd be annoyed if I was a Spurs fan, but you're 4-1 up, so might as well sit back and enjoy it. It's clearly Dan Burn throwing his stuff out the pram once again. 7-finger burner, I'm going to call him that. Nice. Harry Winks comes on for Rodrigo Bentancur. And Kulusevski is also making way. And they were just saying, the commentators there, he's technically on an 18-month loan, but the form he's been in since he's come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and come to London has been absolutely fantastic. And he makes way today with himself getting an assist as well. And Lucas Moura, who seems to have... hopefully he didn't just hit my stomach. But... what was I going to say? Lucas Moura, maybe just been shoved out of the way a little bit since Kulusevski's come in, but we all know the talents of Lucas Moura. He got a lot of praise at the start of the season before Kulusevski's introduction, and whilst Kane and Son maybe weren't firing on all cylinders as they are at the moment. Would love a Harry Kane goal though, fantasy football wise. Does Harry Winks wink? He does, he most certainly does. I can't believe how much Spurs turned it on for... Well, they didn't really even turn it on. They just played for 5-10 minutes. They just took it up one gear. And the worrying thing for Newcastle is Spurs didn't look like they'd taken it up too many gears. And Newcastle were just stuck in 2nd gear the whole time. Say if your gearbox had 6 gears, I think Spurs were sort of in 4 or 5, really. They didn't really hit 6th gear. Whereas Newcastle, they just came out and they were sloppy. Really sloppy, and they've let the game get away from themselves. They really have. As Harry Winks picks up the ball here, drops it into Emerson Royale, who drops it back to Christian Romero. Here's Højbjerg into the feet of Harry Winks, who finds Eric Dyer. The tempo has completely gone out of this game. Completely gone. It's actually ridiculous how much the tempo's just dipped out of this game since those substitutions. And of course, 4-1, you don't expect them to try and come back, but mental. Winks likes to wink, but when Winks winks, he blinks, making Wink a blink, and then Winks stink because he likes to wink. That was... I looked like I was trying to speak in Morse code to someone there by blinking. Come on, I need these 12 minutes to be done now. It's going to be a long 12 minutes if the tempo isn't up. So I'm almost, I hate to say it, Max, but I'm almost hoping for a Newcastle goal just to inject a bit of energy into this final 15 minutes or so, because the tempo's completely gone. completely gone as Son picks up the ball and drives into a little bit of space. Comes back to Ben Davies, who's going to take his time and roll it into Harry Winks. Oh god, yawning. Winks. Lovely ball there into Harry Kane. Harry Kane finds Heung-min Son. Son, is he going to look up? Who can he find? Højbjerg's on the edge of the box. He's rolled it to... Oh! Was it Harry Winks with the strike? It was. That was a lovely strike from Harry Winks. Not bad, you know. Not bad. He looked to bend that one into the top corner. And I tell you what, it wasn't too far away from Harry Winks. Was not too far away whatsoever. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'd love a screamer, but at the moment, I just cannot get hyped now. Will not get hyped now. It's the action has really died down. Really died down at the moment, and probably rightfully so. But it has really died down at the moment, and it's disappointing when a game dies down, which could have been such an exciting game and such a big opportunity for Newcastle United to do well. It could have been a brilliant opportunity. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort my phone out here because it's glitching out as we speak. That being said, all the blood is now rushing to my arm because I've had my arm dangling in one position. Oh, there we are. I'm not saying it again, Max. I'm not saying another one. The reason why Winks missed is because he winks mid-shot. Nice. Winks winked mid-shot. Nice. Final substitution for Spurs, and it is Emerson Royale who's had a good game on that right-hand side, coming off for Steven Bergwijn. So that does leave Son, Bergwijn, Harry Kane, and who else? Son, Bergwijn, Harry Kane, and Lucas all on the pitch. So it may be a switch to a 4 at the back, potentially, with Doherty going to right back, Davies going to left back, and then the two centre halves being Christian Romero and Eric Dyer. I think that's what will happen. I think that's what the change will be. Change to a 4-2-3-1. I'm surprised, obviously Conte loves his 3 at the back formations, but I'm surprised Spurs can't play better in a 4-2-3-1. A 4-2-3-1 seems like it'd be something that would suit them, especially if they can get Kane almost playing as a false 9. We know how much he loves to drop in, don't we? We know how much he likes to drop in and pick up the ball, and then having those wingers with pace in Son, Bergwijn, Kulusevski, Mora, whoever it may be, running in behind, it would be good. But the problem is having that traditional number 10 in that position would maybe limit Harry Kane, and that's where he really comes in and does well, because in that 3-4-3, neither Højbjerg or Winks or whoever is in that central midfield role really fills in that attacking midfield role, and as a result, Harry Kane able to, we've seen it all day long today, just drop into a little bit of space and pick out a pass, and he knows where Son will be, he knows where Kulusevski will be, and it's been the downfall of Newcastle United so far in this game. It really has. And to be honest with you, the amount of success that they've had, I'm quite surprised, because I was expecting, especially after that first half, Newcastle to be tight, compact, and very good defensively, and it's just not been the case. It really hasn't been the case, especially in that first 15-20 minutes or so of this first half. It's been a really poor performance in the second half for Newcastle United, who I'm sure they must have been happy with the way that their team performed in the first half, especially taking Spurs in at 1-1. But credit where credit's due. Clearly, there was a rocket up the backside of the Spurs side. That's really good play as well. And Bergwijn might be through. Bearing down on the goal. Bergwijn! And that is it. That's 5-1. Steven Bergwijn gets himself the 5th goal of the game. And Newcastle United get themselves another fantastic stuff. Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur even. And that is the 5th. And it was too easy again. Lucas Moura just skipped by his man. Lucas Moura gets himself an assist. Where am I going to put all of these goal scorers now, ladies and gents? I'm going to have to move everything. Typical Tottenham making it difficult for me, eh? Typical Tottenham making everything difficult for me. But Bergwijn runs straight through, and there's never really any doubt, is there, from Steven Bergwijn. He's a top-class professional, Steven Bergwijn. He's maybe not been in the best of form, but that goal will do him the world of good, most certainly. Is that how you spell Bergwijn? Is it Bergwijn? No. I think it is, isn't it? I think it's Bergwijn. Yes, it is. Bergwijn, and that is the 84th minute. So, Newcastle, man. What to think about Newcastle, eh? What to think about Newcastle after this performance, especially in the second half. You've got to wonder what must be running through Eddie Howe's mind at the moment. And Bergwijn goes through again. Oh my gosh! That could have been an absolutely fantastic strike there from Bergwijn. It was a lovely ball over the top. A really good ball over the top. It bounces once, and then it was almost like, I think it was Kasami. What a strike that would have been. He's caught it on the volley, and he's tried to chip the keeper. Almost Jamie Vardy against Liverpool-esque. And my God, they were lucky. They were lucky not to concede there. I'm running out of room, ladies and gents. I'm running out of room, man. I'm running out of room to put these goal scorers. I should have thought about this. Let's move everything up. We're running out of room, ladies and gents. We are running out of room. I can't score anymore. I didn't think this far through. Spurs have gained a +7 goal difference on Chelsea. That is impressive on this. Oh, Newcastle. What to think for them, eh? What to think. I'd be very intrigued to know what's going on in the Newcastle fan bases at the moment. I'd be very, very... Imagine being a fly on the wall in that dressing room come the end of this game, because it must be bad listening and bad reading. Let's get Sixer Sam nowhere to put the goal scorers, as long as it's a different goal scorer, maybe Kane. I mean, I'd take the Kane goal. Most certainly. What a good performance, though. Max, what have you made to Spurs' performance today, if you are watching? Are you pleased with the performance? I think, to be honest, this looks Spurs at their very, very, maybe not their very best, but a really, really good performance from Spurs today. And against the Newcastle side that should have come out firing in the second half, and they just didn't. They've caused themselves too many problems. And unfortunately for me as well, Spurs are causing me some problems as well. Not being able to find the name tags. The room for the name tags, anyway. 3 minutes left. And that is the weekend of football done, apart from Arsenal. I hate Monday night kickoffs. I'm so glad Chelsea don't have them. This is what happens when you get in the Champions League. You can watch them on the weekends. You don't have to watch them on a Monday night. Murphy there tried to burst forward, but it was intercepted there by Christian Romero. I think the first half could have been better, but the second half has been excellent. Couldn't agree more with you there, Max. It's been a great second half, a great performance, especially those 15 minutes after the second half, after the half time, sorry. But whatever Antonio Conte said to Spurs at half time has most certainly worked. As Harry Kane, what a ball that is to find Son once again. Harry Kane is a magician as Son cuts in on his right foot there and it's shot blocked. But what a magician there. And we do have a new subscriber, so thank you to Angus. Thank you, Angus, and lovely to see you, mate. Hopefully you are doing okay, and thank you for subscribing as well to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. I do appreciate it, I most certainly do. Let us know if you are still listening. Let us know if you are a Newcastle or a Spurs fan. Oh, if you're any other fan as well. Welcoming of everyone. Harry Winks there, rolls it into Ben Davies. Here is Heung-min Son, who drops it back again into Ben Davies. Max says he'd love 6. I mean, I'm sure you would, Max. I don't know if it's going to come, though, but Spurs are playing fantastic football. And here goes Lucas Moura, who's got away from Dan Burn here. Lucas Moura, oh, the touch was too heavy there, and easily able to recover there. But Harry Winks has done well. John Joe Shelby's nicked the ball back off him. Bergwijn goes for a cheeky nutmeg, and that one's come back and ricocheted once again. Here's Harry Winks into Doherty, and this is just going to die itself a nice slow death. But some of the football has been phenomenal. It has been phenomenal from Tottenham Hotspur. Hotspur has been brilliant, to be honest with you. To be quite frank, it's been awesome. Some of the football, like whose goal was it? Was it Son's goal? The counter-attack? That was phenomenal. That really was a brilliant goal from Spurs, from back to front within about 4 passes, and excellent stuff from Spurs. And maybe just starting to see what Antonio Conte can do with this Spurs side. Maybe, just maybe. Of course, he hasn't had his first proper transfer window in terms of a summer transfer window, has he? Because Nuno Espirito Santo was the manager for the last summer transfer window. So it's a big window for Spurs, who, if Spurs get themselves on a run here, they could really show what they could do coming into the next season. And whether they keep Harry Kane is a big decision as well. I think Harry Kane will want to move, but whether anyone will actually move for Harry Kane is a different thing, because you've got to wonder how many years he has left at this, playing at this level, at this top level that he is at the moment. You've got to wonder. Brilliant game, shame to go behind from a set piece though. Yeah, I think that is the one negative of a pretty, I'd say for Spurs it's been a 9 out of 10 performance. Overall I'd probably say an 8 out of 10, especially in this second half. It's been a lot better. First half I think drags it down to maybe a 6. But yeah, that is the criticism, and Hugo Lloris, I think, I think he'll be very annoyed that he didn't save that. Of course, he'll be glad that his team have turned on the style in this second half, and he's not really had anything to do, so that his mistake wasn't overly the forefront of people's minds, and it won't be at the end of the game. But who knows, eh? Who knows? Spurs, they look better. They most certainly do look better. Potentially they could be on for a push. It depends. Chelsea and Arsenal still have to play themselves. Still have to play each other. So Spurs will be sitting thinking, hang on, if we can just keep at least equaling what everyone's doing. Of course, this weekend Spurs will have gained 3 points on Chelsea. But if they can at least keep equaling until that game versus Chelsea versus Arsenal, which, you know, if there's a draw in there, Spurs could seize the opportunity to get themselves into this Champions League battle, which at the moment looks very much sat between the red and the blue of London instead of the white. But who knows? And that's another ball as well. Harry Kane's passing is so phenomenal. I think he'll have a lot more years left in his legs, because I know we talk about, like, with Rooney, he went from being a striker to an attacking midfielder and then back to a central midfielder. But it definitely helps being able to move a player back, and Harry Kane is as good a passer with the ball that I've seen. Probably a better passer than Wayne Rooney was as well. And Wayne Rooney did that transition from striker to attacking midfielder, or false 9, if you will, into more. He did it so seamlessly, and he was fantastic. And we always knew Wayne Rooney did have a ping on him. But Harry Kane, over the last 2 seasons, his passing has been on another level. Absolutely on another level. And we have got a few seconds left here at the end of the game, and 3 minutes of added time were added at the end of the 90. were added at the end of the 90s. Lucas Moura tries to dance his way through. Alan St. Maximin picks it up. Is there going to be a consolation here for Alan St. Max? He just keeps running himself into corners because he tries to run away from players. And Spurs do have a throw. There's been more than the promised 3 minutes of added time here. Surely shouldn't be long now. Surely shouldn't be long, and I don't know why you do that, but there it is. That is the full-time whistle, and that is Tottenham Hotspur 5, Newcastle United 1. Tottenham Hotspur 5, Newcastle United 1. And Newcastle fans can't be moaning about a top 6 bias in this game because, to be honest with you, it was all their own doing. It was all their own doing. A poor second half performance after a promising first half has seen Tottenham Hotspur batter 5 past Newcastle United, who, whilst they may be pretty much home and hosed from the relegation battle, cannot take their foot off the gas just yet, and today has proven that. It looked like, especially in that second half, that they had taken their foot just off the gas just a little bit, and it was a disappointing, specifically in the second half, a disappointing result for them. But from a Spurs perspective, 5 different goal scorers, 3 fullbacks getting on the score sheet, and 2 of their wingers. It's been a good performance from Spurs. Harry Kane has been vital in terms of the way that they have performed today, and getting the 3 points for Spurs. So I will leave you there. I am absolutely starving for some food. It is, what time is it? It's 6:30, ladies and gents, 6:30. So enjoy the rest of your Sundays. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, like Angus did earlier, do be sure to smash that like button for us. Oh, here comes active Aaron. Aaron, I want to know, before we go, what are your thoughts on this game? Because Newcastle, first half, were good. They looked good. They didn't look great, but they looked good. They did well to be in the game. But that second half, that first 20 minutes, was appalling. Absolutely appalling. They didn't do their marking, and they didn't do their defensive strategy as well. They really didn't. What an appalling start to that second half. And then you have dug yourself into a bit of a hole. You have dug yourself into a bit of a hole. I'm waiting for Aaron to reply here because I'm intrigued to see what Aaron has to say as the resident Newcastle fan. Shame Jonathan's not here as well to have that discussion with and have that debate around. I'm sure there is a lot of debate going on between Newcastle United fans at the moment as to how they have performed for today. It's not been the greatest of performances from Newcastle United, and it does mean that, you know, Spurs find themselves in this Champions League fight. Is Aaron going to give us something here? Bad day at the office is what he said. Bad day at the office. I think that's more than fair, and I think it's just a friendly reminder as well to some of the Newcastle players that actually it isn't plain sailing. Yes, you're in good form, and you have been in good form, and absolutely you've been good at specific times, and obviously some of the games you've been unlucky in, but also now 3 straight defeats for Newcastle United against Chelsea, against Everton, and now against Spurs. Some of these bigger games are now starting to cause a few issues for Newcastle, and it just gives them a nice sort of platform and lets Newcastle United really see where they are in terms of the big teams and what they've got to change come the summer. It's a very, very useful thing to have these final few games, especially now that they pretty much have nothing to play for. But I'm going to leave you there now that, oh, here we go again. Aaron, we were good before Christmas, even when we wasn't getting results, but today was poor. Yeah, couldn't agree more with that one. It was poor, especially in that second half. First half was okay. In fact, I would stretch to say good. But second half, just wasn't at the office. Great to see you, Aaron. Hope you are okay. But I'll leave you guys there. I'm going to go get some food. Absolutely starving. Unfortunately, Newcastle couldn't stop Spurs from getting a vital 3 points in the Champions League battle at the top. And that's a little bit disappointing for me. So thank you for watching, guys. And most importantly,